also, even though you called me out for accidentally having my phone really loud.
Oh my God. I really did. What did I say? It was so petty.
Oh, you're being like my dad right now. He listens to his phone really loud too when we're watching TV. And I said, that was a really roundabout way to tell me to turn my phone down.
It's things like that where I'm like, oh my God, like I really am my father's daughter at certain times, because like he will never just like flat out tell you something. He'll be like, he's just like the queen of petty. Like, where do you think I get it from? Rich. Because he'll be like, I really wish somebody wasn't like doing that right now. Or he's like, I really wish like, he's like, are you getting up to get water? Oh, that sounds nice. Oh, I bet. Yeah, no, like he's done that to me before. I'm like, do you want water? And he goes, I mean, I guess. Like, fuck off. Fuck off. And he does that with food too. He does that with food. Like, it's a real thing. And I'll be like, I'm not doing this with you. Tell us what you want, because I can't do it. And I'm sorry that I've become that. Like, you really do like live long enough to be like either be the hero or see yourself become the villain. And I think I think I understand like my trajectory of like what's happening with me.
My dad won't do that. He'll do like, what are you getting? Or like, he'll just see us making something and be like, what are you making for dinner? I was like, well, I was making myself mac and cheese. Like, I don't know. We have a whole house full of food. I don't know what you're doing for dinner.
Yeah, no.
Or he'll just be like, what do we want for dinner? And I'll say something. He's like, oh, like.
Right. No, my dad does that too. My dad does that too. I'm like, so just tell us what you want. What do you want? What do you want? It makes me so mad, Brie.
And then he'll give me like $10 for the both of us. And I'm like, this is cute.
Do you know what economy you're in? It is not 1970.
I'm like, I know I'm just going to the hot dog place down the block, but like, it's still, this is enough for me.
What do you?
Either you're trying to tell me something and I'm paying for myself, or you are so out of touch with how expensive food is nowadays.
Sir, I'm going to need another 10 plus
Dad,
a 5
I love you. This
for
is just... These are just little pet peeves.
The dads out there, we love you all, but like, get it together. Tell us what you want. Give us your money, the correct amount.
And don't be talking about us and complaining about us like we're the ones.
And don't be doing this because you see, you're making me do this to Brie. And Brie doesn't do anything. She's innocent here.
I'll accept that.
Brie's like, oh, damn, I really like where this is going, actually.
I won't fight you on it.
She's like, I love when her tangents like are hyping me up. They're the best ones.
Might be delusional, but I will accept that
like,
delusion as long as it
she
lasts.
does nothing wrong. And Brie's like, nice.
Sweet.
She's like, sick. Although I realized I don't get it back, so Oh God, me being petty. Oh my God, I really am rich. I need to stop. I need a distraction.
It's not like I never compliment
Where are
you
the
and
cicadas
stuff.
when I need them? Now they shut the fuck up. Now they shut up.
Yeah, it is the end of summer because you know what? It's September, so it is officially spooky season. Welcome everybody.
Oh, you guys, also it's my birthday soon. So I will take like the love and everything in the form of like a follow, a review, a rate, a subscriber, like all of that. Like that's how you make my birthday month.
Birthday present.
I think it's a good birthday present, and like honestly, it's free.
My sister's birthday is also in September, and I think she would also love that as a birthday present if you guys follow us.
Your sister's birthday's in September? Who?
You know which one?
Nope.
The other Virgo?
Nope. Oh, Kaylee! You would think I would pay attention to that more, because I've actually literally gone to your sister's house before and been like, do you like to rearrange like your cabinets for fun? And she's like, I fucking love that. And I'm like, do you want to do that sometime?
Yeah,
Like,
you guys have bonded over your Virgo-ness.
I love it. I love her for that. But like, back to you guys. I know that she would appreciate that as a gift too, because I know if anything, I like Virgos know Virgos, and we're not wrong. And I know I'm not wrong about this. I know that's what she wants.
She knows her so well, and she knows that she would also love for you guys to rate, review, subscribe, comment, interact anyway, and also email us.
But how are they going to do that? They don't know who we are, Brie.
Oh, well, if this is your first time, I'm Brie.
I'm Abby.
And we're your rent-free roommates.
That was hot, that segue. I liked that. That was all improv, guys. One thing about Brie and I is we always, like, none of this is ever scripted. This is all on the fly. So if it is cringy too, fuck off. It was on the fly.
And one thing about us is we are going to give ourselves the most credit for doing everything
No, all the time.
immediately.
I need to.
We love ourselves so much. We hope you love us too.
And I hope you love yourself. And I hope you love me just as much as you love yourself. Did you follow along with that?
We'll explain. Just come in, sit down, welcome. Glad you're here.
Pull up a chair. They're both broken, actually. Actually, don't sit in any of our kitchen chairs. They are all broken.
We're not sure which ones are and aren't at this point.
It's like Russian fucking roulette.
But if you want to risk it, totally
No,
come sit
sit
down.
here.
Or like there's a couch over there.
There is a couch.
Yeah, we can move over there.
We could. I was thinking we should do some of our podcasts on the couch.
Well, maybe we could do that for our sleepover that we have coming
Ooh.
up.
Do you guys want to know about that? Do you guys want to know? Do you want to be in the
So-
know?
As I mentioned, it is officially spooky season to all that celebrate, and we are so excited. And like we mentioned before, we are getting ready, and we have already decided. If you're listening and you're one of our followers and you want to listen, you are cordially invited to our spooky little sleepover on the first episode of October.
Yep. You guys, we have a lot of stuff planned for you. So everybody get ready, get excited, and send us all your stories. And the best way to do that is to send it to rentfreeroommates@gmail.com.
Yes, that is RENTFREEROOMMATES@gmail.com.
And if you didn't get that, you can also follow us and send us stories through that portal too. We are Rent Free Roommates on every social media platform. So that's Instagram, that's Facebook,
That's basically it.
and we've got them all. So it's not hard for you to find us there.
We would love to see any interaction with any of our social media. We love when you guys comment and when, all the likes. We appreciate it. It's like little hugs and we love them.
Oh, that's
Thank
the
you
best
so
way to put it.
much.
No, but it really is. And I'm like, my love language is affection. So please,
I'm a really good hugger, guys. I would love a hug.
we would love one.
Consensually.
Correct.
Don't surprise me with a hug. That's not a good combination.
She doesn't want that.
No. I might just think you're trying to kill me.
Ooh, and we don't want that.
No. I don't need that to be one of my scary stories.
Ooh.
Thinking somebody was going to kill me.
Yeah,
And
actually,
really, it was just a hug.
yeah. Actually, Brie and I have a lot of scary stories ourselves that will be contributing to some of these as well, because it's so fun being a girl and being a girl in the city too. So unfortunately, we have some of our own like scary stories to bring to the table, but we're really hoping that you guys can share some of yours too.
Yeah, we want to hear yours because this is our favorite topic to talk about, weirdly.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're just letting each other know. We're keeping each other safe with knowledge.
Yes. Correct.
What to look for, what to avoid.
Yeah, and we want you guys to be aware too. And then lay your trauma on us too.
And also because when we're planning to be scared, it's fun. Not when we're experiencing it. But talking about it, it's like, ooh, it's entertaining.
Yeah. Few things to remember for the roomies is follow us, rate us, subscribe to us, ignore the motorcycle in the background because we are. I'm doing my best. And share your spooky stories.
Yes, we want to hear them. Please. We love hearing from you guys. And we are so excited to get so spooky next
And we really
month.
hope you are too, because what we're not going to do is fuck up like we did last year.
We're going to stop talking about it too because it's not even going to happen.
Right,
Because we're
fuck.
not even talking about it.
Yeah, because we're going to get shush.
What? But yes, let's get into it.
Let's.
Hold on. You just said, I don't think it's that threatening. After you said that, I'm going to knock you out.
Yeah, but I'm going to do it in a nice way. You're going to eat something and you're going to fall asleep.
That's terrifying.
Well, it's better than getting hit. We can't all pick how we want to get knocked out, Brie, okay? I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry that I don't want a not professional tattooing me with a brand new tattoo gun.
If I can get it off
on a whim.
Amazon,
That sounds terrible.
okay, well, I can, is what I'm saying. And I feel like, just let me do it. So.
No.
Well, then that's why you're getting knocked out. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I want to be
basically,
supportive.
it's we can either do this the easy way or the hard way. And it's looking like you're picking the hard way, Bree. And I don't want to. I don't want to. Know that.
See, but professionals even like don't practice on people at first. They use like, I think it's actually pigskin. and
Ew.
shit like that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and I thought they use like.
Maybe there's synthetic
This
stuff
seems
now.
silly. I was gonna say I thought they used like. I don't know. The first thing that came to mind, I was like, oh, like those sex dolls-esque things. You know what I'm talking about, though? Like,
Yeah, it's
there's,
probably
like,
that material.
Yeah,
I don't think they're
and that's what I was thinking. No, I
drop
don't.
and bank on sex dolls.
No, I think they're getting what they can in this economy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
She's mad because I won't let her theoretically tattoo me.
I just think she's being really negative about it.
I said I would let her if she practiced really hard.
You're being a really bad roommate.
Well, sorry.
Like, think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
That's why I said no.
This is
I
why she's
thought
getting.
about it.
This is why she's getting knocked out. And I told her she's gonna wake up, and her big toe is gonna hurt. Why? Because there's a smiley face behind it now.
I'm gonna have a gash in my foot because even
But
asleep.
you're not gonna have a gash.
Yeah, I am because even asleep, my feet are very sensitive. You know this, and you are gonna get kicked in the face, and it's not gonna be my fault because I wasn't conscious.
I don't think it's gonna happen how you think it's gonna happen. I think get ready to smile more to your big toe because you're gonna have a tattoo.
All that takes is being high. The last time I did mushrooms was with my sisters, and when we got back to the hotel room, I was in the bathroom washing my feet because I was really self-conscious that they were stinky. And I was giggling so hard at my toes under that water. I thought it was hilarious. They were just so funny under the faucet.
You're not going to distract me.
I'm just saying I don't need a bad tattoo on my toe.
Who said it was gonna be bad?
If I'm the first victim,
I
it's
never said
not
you were gonna
good.
be the first.
Okay, well,
Your sister will be.
And I said after you practice a lot, which is also implying not being the first. So,
Well, so your sister's just gonna be a fucking shrine of Abby tattoos. I hope you know that. Because your sister's fucking cool.
no, because you both make the same bad decisions.
Doesn't matter what the reason is. All I'm saying is Abby might have a tattoo gun soon. So if anybody's in the market for a tattoo, hit me up. I need the skin.
Buyer beware.
Buyer beware. If any of our listeners want a tattoo, we can do like an RRF. RFF. Wait, RFR.
You do it for the edits every week.
Holy fuck, that was so hard. RFR. Oh my God, roomies. Wouldn't that be so cute? And if you were conscious while it was happening. So cute. So cute. Okay, I'm going to buy it.
Well,
We're at a standstill.
so maybe we'll just get into the 1st
We'll circle back. I want to feel heard, not just listened to. Ever since I was little, my family always called me sensitive and dramatic. I will admit I am pretty sensitive, but over the years and as I grew older, I know when things were worth the fuss or not. I know what arguments are worth fighting and when things weren't worth a discussion, but I just feel like everything I say or bring up is automatically disregarded. I know. Maybe I'm too observant or too empathetic than normal, so people are quick to be like, she's thinking too deep about it. Whenever I feel this way, I always think of how both my grandma's dogs and cats were acting a little weird, not extremely lethargic, but maybe too mellow than they normally are. I told my mom while she had a bunch of people over and pushed that she take them to the vet. She gave me a death glare as she left. I could tell she was so annoyed. They both ended up dying on the car ride there. Or how I was so stressed and hit a breaking point because my mom was putting too many responsibilities that I couldn't fulfill myself onto me, and I cried to my BF, but all he did was lay on my bed staring at the ceiling sighing in annoyance because I was crying. Then later when I brought up to him how my feelings were hurt, Because I didn't get any kind of comfort, he said how he thinks what I was crying about was minuscule and how it wasn't that big of a deal to him and how I could never last living his life even for a day.
Oh my God.
Love him.
Yeah.
It's not my BF's jobs to comfort me or anyone else's to accommodate me in any way, and I don't want them to, but it would feel good to feel like I'm being heard and not just listened to. It would also feel good to know that I'm being taken seriously and not written off as dramatic and sensitive. It's getting to the point where I don't even want to speak unless it's known facts and the fear that my family, boyfriend, and friends are rolling their eyes in their minds. I don't know, maybe I'm being too sensitive and dramatic about it. That sounds like somebody who's been gaslit like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, the fact that you're like, it comes from some trauma too, because you don't apologize for things like that unless you've been made to feel like a fool, which like you have. Like,
right.
I know somebody who is always like, are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? And that's because like growing up, she had to be extremely hypersensitive to her parents and like their tones and feelings and everything like that. So she always has to like know for certain, is somebody mad at her? So I feel like things like that are some sort of trauma response as well, which like yours is obviously like, not obviously, but like one thing that triggers you is like having your feeling, like being heard.
Yeah. Well, and I apologize for sighing. I wasn't sighing at you. I was sighing at even the way that you ended this story was a result of exactly what you're frustrated with. It makes me sad. It always makes me sad to hear people apologizing for just sharing their feelings. When anybody, like when anybody apologizes for crying or when anybody apologizes after they just vented. And sometimes I still have a bad habit of sometimes doing that too, but I always try and be super conscious to anytime I do catch somebody doing that, I make sure they know, do not apologize for that. Please let it out. I'm glad that you came to me with this, or just trying to validate somehow and trying to encourage sharing your feelings and sharing your thoughts, because that is such an awful way for you to feel and for you to have been conditioned basically to be keeping things to yourself unless you think that you're not going to get some kind of rebuttal because everyone has just brushed you away or written you off in the past. And that's awful. And I'm really sorry that you've been through that and that's what you've had like this entire time. I'm very sorry that nobody has really paid attention to what you've said.
Well, and truth be told, I mean, I'm obviously speaking from what was just shared, so I don't know like the full depth of their relationship, but I'm like, I don't even think you should be with your significant other, to be honest with you.
Is it
like,
still current boyfriend?
That's what it's, yeah.
Okay.
It didn't say anything about that being like a past relationship. So from the sounds of it, they're still together. So I don't agree with that because unfortunately what I think is happening here is because you're so accustomed to the behavior that you receive from your family, you're finding it in a relationship as well because you don't know anything different, because this person obviously isn't validating you either. Right. And as unfortunate as it is that like until you get to make the decision yourself on like whether or not like you confront your family about this, continue contact, like keeping in contact with them after like you leave the house and become like on your own, but like you do get to choose your friends and your significant others. And I think what needs to be is like pointing out that toxic behavior in your family and in your friends and significant other as well. Say significant other again, Abby, holy fuck. But it's true because like it's a pattern, so you look for it in people. It's just what you're accustomed to, and you have to be very wary of that as well. So the fact that he's literally like comparing his life to yours, which like I hate when people do that. It makes me so stupid, irritated, because I'm like, okay, like what does that mean? So I can't have a bad day? I can't have a bad life because your life is like, that's not my fault, babe.
Right.
Is how I feel. Like, correct, but it's like, it's still not fair that somebody has to experience that. Like, I don't think it's fair that you have X, Y, and Z either, but like.
Mm-hmm. It's just never a valid
But if you told me
argument.
about it, I would sure as shit listen.
Right. And I've said it before, somebody else's broken leg does not make your broken arm hurt any less. Just
Exactly.
because somebody else has something more going on seemingly than what you have doesn't make what you're going through
It
hurt
doesn't.
any less or any less hard to go
Well,
through.
and the fact that he said that, like, lets us know that, like, that's how he views your problems, is, like, minuscule. Like, he thinks,
Right.
oh, because she doesn't have to do X, Y, and Z, her life really isn't that hard. And it's like, coming home to a family that doesn't acknowledge your feelings is extremely depressing, and it makes you feel like a stranger in a place that should feel like a home. Like, that's
Yeah.
incredibly isolating and does a lot of damage to one's mental health, and obviously affects their relationships, hence why she's with this person and has made the friendships that she has, because you're not able to detect what something healthy looks like.
Right.
And so, you follow a pattern. And I'm thinking that, like, what needs to happen for you is you need to start cutting ties with the people who don't make you feel seen and make you feel heard.
Yeah.
And, like, it can be, family is a whole other, like, ballpark, and I don't expect that to be, like, an overnight thing for you. But, like, I think you should evaluate, like, your relationships and your friendships, too. And, like, because, I mean, like, I've had friends that have just trauma dumped on me before, and it's not like their life wasn't hard, but it's like they were never, like, asking if I was in the capacity to be helping them or things like that. And from what you're telling me, it doesn't seem like you do that either. So it's upsetting to know that when you are reaching out to these people, they're not even there for you. Like, they can't even do that. And it's like, what is the point of a friendship or a relationship then?
Yeah.
So you need to, I feel like, be able to detect, like, what those toxic behaviors look like. So it can be somebody being like, your life isn't as hard as mine, or them rolling their eyes at you, or just, like, not even being able to validate your feelings. Like, Brie may not always know what I go through, or, like, vice versa, but she's always like, you're allowed to feel this way. And you're like, okay, but that's how you feel. And, like, that's just is what it is. So, like, she doesn't need to understand or think I'm right. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I'm feeling in the moment. And she'll allow that and let me allow that. And later on, maybe I'll reevaluate and I don't need to be feeling that way. But I have a friend, fortunate enough, that, like, lets me feel what I need to feel in that moment. And the fact that, like, that's just, like, a positive thing to look for with a relationship too. Friendship and significant other as well. Is it's like, I don't need you to have the answers, but I do need you to listen and allow me to be what I am in this moment, and we can talk about that later. And that's how you get honest answers and reactions out of people too. I feel like I've gone through something similar, you've gone through something similar, and it's not fun, but it's like, I've had friendships where I've felt completely invisible, and I've tried talking to them, and that didn't get me anywhere. So I left.
Yeah.
And it felt good, and it was isolating at times, but I have found a really great group of people who root for me and are there for me, and it feels fucking good. And I want that for you too, but it does take, like, a little bit of being, like, just backing yourself. You got to validate yourself. I know you haven't been validated, but you're hearing it right here, right now. I think everything you feel is valid in the moment, in the present, past, whatever. That's what you feel.
Right. Well, and even your one example of you picking up on something doesn't have to be said to you in words, because they can't, because they were animals. You picked up on this kind of secondary communication that they were showing through body language, and clearly your family wasn't picking up on that. So they don't even have the emotional capacity,
Yeah.
it sounds like, to pick up on nonverbal cues. So, which isn't surprising to me at all, because of how they've treated you. Just to even, like, break it down and show examples of what you're feeling, just to validate your feelings of, just even from what you've said, clearly, yeah, they're not doing that. And I wonder if maybe it's never, like, productive to be petty and throw something back at somebody. What I was thinking is maybe, like, when you are met with, you're just overthinking things, you're overdoing this, or when they come back at you and fight what you're feeling or what you're trying to communicate, maybe asking them. It's almost like when people say something, like, racist or just, like, really out of left field, that it's like, it's just completely inappropriate, And the best way to show them that they're in the wrong is by questioning it and having them explain it. Maybe this would be a good opportunity to do that as well. So when they're like, you're overthinking things, to be like, why is it that you think I'm overthinking things? Like, please explain to me what the issue is that you're having with this, and why
Literally.
you think that I am not being reasonable right now.
Well, because it kind of sounds like they just don't want to deal with it,
right?
Like to that emotional capacity, so they're just writing you off. And
hopefully that's what it would like point out.
Well, and that's the shit that pisses me off too, because it's like, with having children comes with like physical, emotional, mental needs. Like, it's not all just like you just like putting a roof over their head and making sure they have a meal. It's like understanding their emotional needs too. And that's not being met for this person. And it's one of those scenarios where I'm like, as tough as it is, but like you have to evaluate the relationships you have and if they're beneficial for what you want to create for yourself long run. And I think for you to get into like a healthy place, you need to potentially like start doing some of the things like Bree was talking about, which making them explain, holding them accountable, being like, I'm telling you something and you're actively choosing to write me off because you don't want to deal with it. So just say that. Don't tell me I'm dramatic, because that's terrible. And that creates this whole scenario in this person's head, obviously. Like, and it just creates this domino effect of like their needs not ever being met because they don't want to voice them for the fear of being too dramatic or too sensitive. Mm-hmm. Like, unfortunately, this is all like stuff that you're going to have to heal from because it's not an overnight thing. But
right.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of just like also a little bit of like standing up for yourself and standing up for your needs, and this like starting with you validating yourself and knowing that you're not asking too much.
No, not
for
at
having
all.
Your family like a shoulder to cry on, for taking an interest in the pets that like your family brought into this household, or your boyfriend wanting them to listen when you're going through struggles. The fact that like they can't even do that is very telling, and I don't think they should have a part in your life. And that's a really hard pill to swallow, but like not everybody gets a place if they can't prove it.
Yeah. And it's up to you, to put in the amount of work that you are willing to, because they haven't been putting in a lot of work for you. So if you're tired from that, then you are more than allowed to step away when you need to and if you need to. It does suck when it's a situation where you are the one having to deal with their issues. Like, clearly this is a generational issue.
Oh yeah,
this is something they also didn't have those needs met, so they don't know how to share those things, and that's why they're not sharing it with you or validating those things with you, because they didn't have that validation.
And then her boyfriend clearly doesn't get his needs met.
Right, and that's not from you. That's from his upbringing. He didn't have that either, but that doesn't mean he gets to just dump that on you and just do exactly what was done to him to you. That's not how anything gets fixed. And that's the hard thing with generational issues and being the break for that, is that it's so much more work for you.
It is.
When you've already been the one that's been dumped on, and then you're the one that has to put in the work to fix it if you want to. That's another thing that is your choice. And like we've been saying, and we have other episodes where it is a sensitive topic and it's not an easy choice to make, but also there are people that have done it. If you make that choice to kind of cut your family out because it only gets worse and it never gets any better, and it's just a toxic relationship, you are allowed to cut family out. Just because they are family, just because you are blood related, does not mean that you have to deal with a poor relationship or a toxic relationship. You are allowed to step away from stuff and cut people out. And if they're gonna put the work in, if they are willing to put the work in to change and to have a better relationship all around with everybody, then they can be part of your life. But those are the boundaries to kind of think through and set for yourself, because we're in full support. If it's going to be a toxic relationship, family or not, it shouldn't be in your life.
I agree. I think the most important takeaway here is, like, unfortunately, I feel like in order to get into a better situation for yourself, you have to take some of the steps that Brie was just talking about, of being like, no, like the buck stops here. Because, like, unfortunately, I mean, if you don't do anything about it, I fear that you're just going to be in this continued cycle of finding the same relationships and always having to basically apologize for being a human being. And I don't want that for you. I know people who have had similar situations to you who didn't break that curse, and it's really upsetting to see in adulthood, and I really don't want that for you. So unfortunately in the moment, because it is more work, but fortunately in the long run, if you start identifying these behaviors and evaluating these relationships, I think you can start cutting out the people in your life who aren't worth being there, who are just going to like essentially gaslight you for being who you are. And I think with cutting them out, you'll be able to find more stable relationships, people who validate you. You'll know what to look for in a healthy relationship. Like, I'm really fortunate enough, and like, I know Brie and I use our relationship a lot as an example, but like, my friendship with Brie is so positive in so many aspects that like, I know what to look for in like actual acquaintances or like new people that I meet, and I know when a vibe is off because I'm fortunate enough that I know what a really great friendship looks like. And I think that you'll be able to find that too, and then inevitably find the right people in your life. And in the family aspect, I know how difficult that is. I've had to make similar situations too, and it's not great, but I can say that it's extremely beneficial for my own well-being.
Yeah. And you can still have love for somebody.
You can.
While also stepping away.
Yeah.
This is something I am currently trying to figure out myself, and boundaries I'm currently trying to set with somebody as well. It's not easy.
I mean, just because you're like gone or no longer there doesn't mean you have ill will. I think
Right.
it's a really important thing here too. Like, some of the people I've cut out of my life, and I know some of the people that you're thinking of, it's not like you're doing it for malicious reasons. It's
Right.
just not mutually beneficial.
Right. You have to take care of yourself, because what you have to say is valid and your feelings are valid. That, above all, know that just even the title of what you wrote, that is totally valid. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be listened to, and to, what you have to say matters. And we want you to find relationships where you feel that. And I'm glad that you recognize this, because there are people that just think that that's the norm, and think and do, internalize how people react to them, and just think that that's the truth and that's reality. But it's not. You do deserve to be heard. And you deserve to set boundaries so that you can take care of yourself and protect your heart and protect your mental health, honestly, and find relationships like that. Because vice versa, I have really, really close relationships, and they're all really special to me in different ways. And Abby's is the first friendship that, like, outside of my sisters, I didn't really have somebody who I talked to about some, certain things that I got kind of like, I feel heard, but also I'm given really good advice that's like, calls me out when I need to be called out, but in a gentle way. Where
Gentle parenting.
Where I don't feel victimized, or I don't feel like I'm being told that I'm an idiot for feeling any type of way, because nobody deserves that. So that is, above all, that's what we hope you get out of this, and what we hope that you hear is that you deserve better.
That was just a shameless plug at how positive. I'm literally kidding. No, Brie, keep going. I was like, not us, just like hyping up our friendship.
But I feel like if that's what we have to do, but so that people can know that there is better out there, and we're not just saying that you deserve better and there's nothing out there. Like, there is better out there, and it's great that you're recognizing the negative things so that you can start.
I think so.
Putting action into changing those things for the betterment of yourself and like just your relationships going forward.
I think I should shut the fuck up, because I don't think I could top what she just said. That was beautiful. That was great. You summed it all up. You fucked it up in the best way.
Fuck it up, Riley.
Fuck it up, Brie. Fuck it up with the advice. I really, truly do hope that we helped. Situations like this are just like near and dear to my heart.
And if we sound annoyed, it's not at you, it's at them.
I just personally know that, like, I used to be somebody who never validated my feelings, and like Brie can attest to that. And because her and I's relationship like was so positive. She really helped me see that. And it's just a blessing. And I now don't think like that. So I can tell you that there's like a light at the tunnel. It takes some work. It really truly does, but it's worth every second, every kind of relationship that possibly has to come to an end. I'm so happy with where I'm at, and I just want that for you too. So I would love to be kept up to date with how you're doing. And if you dropped that fucking boyfriend.
Yeah. We're not a fan.
No, I don't like him. I'm not going to tattoo him. Or should I?
Maybe we will.
Or should I?
Maybe I'm sending Abby right to him.
Maybe I'm going to knock him out. And fucking tattoo his big toe. How would he like that? And then I'm going to tell him he's being overdramatic. It's just a tattoo and it's on your big toe. Who's going to see it? So I do hope I helped you.
And we're here for that kind of support, that level of support.
Yeah, I'm fucking crazy.
If you want to check in, we would love to hear it. Because we have, like I said, had past stories. So maybe we can share something from one of them that will be helpful to you. And I'm honestly, too, there's a community out there. If you need really support in that way, look, I think even on Reddit, there's like boards of people that have like cut family out of their life. They're for support for each other. So definitely, you know, we're not saying, not to say like, do this right now, but there are people that can absolutely relate and can give even more advice than what we've been able to do. But
you can always hit us back up.
Right.
Rentfreeroommates@gmail.com.
Yeah. We're here to support you.
And we're here to validate you. We love you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate you.
I've decided what I'd like for you to do tonight. Or like what you'll be doing tonight. I want you to know that sometimes I think about that when I like plan things in my head. I'm like, Bree's doing this. Because it's like something that I want to do, but I'm inviting you. And I'm like, basically you don't have a choice though. I try to explain to my coworkers like our relationship because they're like, I'm like, no, like I just go home. Cause I'm like, I don't like to live alone because like I need attention at like certain times. And I'm like, so like sometimes I'll come home and I'm like, I need to go fuck with Bree. And then when I'm done with Bree, I'll literally go stand in Devin's room and be like, your turn.
You really do.
I do.
Because you beeline.
It's a full-time job living with me. It's a full-time job. They don't get paid enough. They get paid in my jokes and my humor. I think that's priceless. But what I decided you're going to do, I decided it earlier today because I knew we were both staying home tonight. I want you to watch X.
Is that the first one that came out? Yeah, because then it was Pearl.
Yep, then it's Pearl.
Okay.
I don't know if you can handle Pearl, so...
I was more excited about Pearl.
Really?
Though.
I think Pearl will like freak you out. That's interesting.
Because X, I was like, this is...
Really? X is so good. X is
that's
so
what I ended
good,
up hearing.
but I'm
like,
very like I'm also like such a big Kid Cudi fan. Like I love him. He's so cute, so cute. If you ever come across this, sir, I'm single, and I would be honored. I would be so honored to be like. Just hit me up. You were great in that movie. Why am I gushing? Like he really does listen.
Like he's right here.
I'm like, oh my God, stop. Stop.
That's why I never want to meet like the celebrities that I love because I'm like, I don't want to embarrass myself.
No, I wouldn't. Him and I, like, he wouldn't even know if I liked him or not.
Okay.
Like I would play it so cool. Like I'm doing right now.
Starting now.
Yeah, he was in the movie and he did fine.
I think he did a stand-up job.
Oh, he was in that? Oh, I forgot.
No, I'm down.
I want you to do that. And then if you think you're up for Pearl, I don't want to push you.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to do both in one night.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot.
And I'm excited for spooky season, but like, don't gotta jump. I'm not trying to do a cannonball into it.
I know. This is just...
I really do love how many people, though, I've seen on social media talking about that they're decorating their house this weekend.
Well, as they should.
I love that.
As they should.
We're
going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So
it's like 3-day weekend.
3-day weekend. Get the house fucking spooky. It's my favorite time of the year. I will be like blacking out at the store tomorrow.
We did such a good job last year, like really beefing up our decorations.
Yeah, but like we can't do the same shit too. Like we gotta get some new stuff in here as well.
It will be all the same shit for me because I'm broke.
Okay, so I will be contributing to this then, because like we can't be like we're gonna do some different. I've been saving a bunch of TikToks. Get ready, you're gonna be so busy, Brie, because I've planned some stuff for you to do as well.
I do have orange Rice Krispies that I can make Rice Krispie treats out of. My mom just dropped those off for me.
Shout out to Mom.
She was like, oh, I saw these. Should I get them? I was like, yeah.
You want to know what energy that just gave? And I don't want to be mean, but it gave major, I like the Tin Man. And I'm like, that's cool. Those aren't decorations. They are just Rice Krispies.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying we were talking about decorations.
And that's all I can contribute other than what I bought last year.
I think it's great.
Say it if you don't mean it.
Stop. Don't do this. We should just read the story.
Ends up fighting about Halloween decorations.
Hi, roomies. We're not going to be posting.
Canceled.
Because some people think that we need to have new decorations every year.
I can't wait for the time that I do live that life and I just keep adding on, but that life is not right now, unfortunately.
Well, I'm going to live it for the both of us right now, and you just get to be there for the ride, okay?
Sweet.
Cool. Oh, my God. Let's do this.
I love being a passenger princess. I never get to do that.
Just shut the fuck up. Hey. Sorry.
We love each other so much.
You guys so much.
Says, hi. How have you all been? How was your summer? I have so many episodes to catch up on, and I'm doing that today while I work.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Take notes, everybody.
I've not listened since May. I have ADHD. I'm the worst just for forgetting things when I'm hyperfixating. And since April, I've been manically productive, becoming an artiste.
Oh.
Big exaggeration.
Bitch.
But I've been
security.
But I've been really inspired by music to draw and share online, which has been a little nerve-wracking as I've been off social media personally for like 3 years. It's been fun though, and I've not crashed yet, so fingers crossed. I have finally made a healthy habit to start my career. Love that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I found out about a secret diagnosis that my psychiatrist literally kept hidden from me.
Oh.
She said, if you don't laugh, you'll cry, right?
Oh, okay. No.
What's your guys' experience with mental health professionals in the U.S., if any? I know you guys have private healthcare, which has its own pros and cons, just like our national healthcare has. Only the healthcare here is prejudiced against British expats. That's interesting. I hear a lot about the app BetterHelp and love the idea of having a mental health specialist I can actually talk to over text instead of face-to-face, as I've had a hard time talking about things affecting me over typing, as well as a lot of bad experiences with professionals here. Example, my psychiatrist didn't verbally tell me a pretty big diagnosis, but I found it in my requested medical notes. Insert like literally any confused meme, they all fit. Finding someone I'm comfortable talking to is really hard for me, which is probably why I word vomited all of that above. And I'd say I'm sorry, and I am, even if I don't say it, but I have a feeling you don't mind, which is also why I love you guys.
Oh my God.
Some happy news too. The 17th of August was the 3-year anniversary of rescuing my cat Clementine. You guys play Walking Dead, the game? I have not, actually. I used to watch the show like very actively, but I did fall off. She was a day from starvation when we finally caught her, but she's healthy and happy now. And to celebrate, I wrote a letter to the elderly couple who helped us get her from their garden. She's seriously the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I'm not even ashamed to admit it.
Yeah, oh my God, stop. Pets are, though.
I know.
Pets are the best.
That's all for now. I have a sticker for the song People Are Strange to make. Lost Boys fans? I know you guys like horror, so I have my fingers crossed here. Look forward to working with you guys to keep me company. Hope you enjoyed your break and got plenty of rest. Love, Karma. I love that. Thank you so much for that.
You like us. You really, really like us. No, thank you. You're a sweetheart.
That is so sweet. I have so many things to say.
I
so
love
much
you.
to catch up on. Yeah.
Like a lot to catch up on, actually. And this was beautiful. And just in case anybody needed a reminder, this is what you guys do to us. Come on. Like, you literally make us like cheese like no other. It's wonderful. We love it. We love to hear from you just to start. But like, most importantly,
absolutely melt. Like, that is so sweet.
Oh, yeah. It's
the fact that we've made anybody feel this way just like, breaks my heart in the best way. Like, it melts my heart.
But
it's so sweet.
Just again, gonna say it until I'm blue in the face, but shit like this just solidifies why we're here, why we like doing this, and like, it feels so good because this is the intention. We want everybody to come back. We want to feel like your friend, even though we've never met. We want to be that for you. So please, everybody else, feel free to write us, like, even about anything. If you
just
celebrating pet anniversaries, it doesn't matter. We want to hear it.
We love it all. Thank you so much.
You're gonna listen to us catch up with an old friend at the moment.
First of all, like you said, you called it out. We are totally okay with a word vomit little vent sesh. Like,
oh my God. Have you listened to any of our intros?
You know us very well. We absolutely love it. We love hearing all of this. First off, with what you started with, absolutely love that. Love when anybody is able to find a creative outlet for themselves.
Yeah.
And is like really enjoying it, especially when it is mixed with social media, because that can be so toxic.
It can.
And I'm really proud of you for taking that step away for 3 years. Like, that's huge. And I'm sure you just feel so much better.
Yeah.
Having done that. I definitely did that. Like, in 2020, I hid my Facebook. I hid a lot of my social media so that I stayed off of it.
And well, what I like too about it, just like timing wise, is that like, because it hasn't been a part of your daily routine for so long, like posting your like artwork and like your more personal, like artistic stuff, it doesn't put you in like this mindset to like constantly be looking for validation and like comments or things like that, because it's not necessarily like a part of your routine. Like, this can just be something that's purely pleasure for you, and you just get to share that content with the world.
Yeah.
And I think that's all it really should be. While it's making you happy and bringing you joy, make sure that you keep doing it and letting it be this positive outlet for you. It's really wonderful, and I'm really happy that you found that. So that's fucking fantastic.
Also can totally relate that it's like inspiration from music. I come from a very musical family.
She does.
And that is definitely something I recognized for myself really not until adult life, just because it was always part of my life. Like, when you're younger, it's so much easier to not recognize the things that are really bringing you joy, because usually it's somehow school related.
Yeah.
Like, I took art classes. I was taking the classes that gave me joy, and I was a choir kid. I was a theater kid. Like,
you're talking to a girl who like literally would stay in during lunch for book club. Like, I can't talk.
Like, it was so much easier then. So I think that's why it wasn't until like adult life that I realized, oh, when I have this song stuck in my head for a week, it's speaking a lot to like how I'm internally feeling. That's a big thing for me. And like, my alone time in the car when I can just sing in the car is like some of my favorite times of the day. It's such a like good release. So I love that you found that release for yourself, and like tying it in with art and all that stuff. Absolutely love that. Can totally relate. And then also love that you're comfortable talking about mental health. That is also what we want to do. Like, it's part of why we started this all, because so important to talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, we can relate to that stuff. So, yeah.
I can say that, like, because you asked about what it was kind of like over here. I can speak from a very lucky and positive experience. So far when it comes to, I mean, I'm pretty candid with saying this. I take anxiety medication. And I'm candid with it because I feel like it often like shocks a lot of people when I tell them too. They're like, you? And I'm like, bitch, if you could only live in this head for a day, you would be too.
I'm glad to hear you say that. That means it's working.
I'm like, and on the inside, it's on fire, baby. Okay? But no, like, I'm a huge advocate that, like, if that's an avenue that works for you, definitely it's one that works for me. I was really lucky in that regard that when I went and sought out help for my anxiety and like panic attacks, I was validated and listened to. But I do know that that's not the experience for a lot of people, and a lot of times people will be written off as like being over dramatic or like kind of just get like gaslit. And I'm just really lucky that wasn't my experience. So basically what happened with me is I had to take kind of like this survey and evaluate my stress levels, my depression, all of that. And depending on your score, kind of puts you in this category of like, should they be like medicated? And I went to just my physician. I didn't go to a psychiatrist. But
yeah, I think that's typically like, it depends on what kind of healthcare you, or what kind of coverage you have for insurance.
Yeah.
Because that's our whole thing is insurance, and I'm not going to try and explain that to you right now.
Because I would need to call my dad if I...
Yeah, I still don't.
No, but it's a bitch is what we're trying to tell you. That's why I need to call my dad. Because, like, I have insurance, and I get it-ish. I'm like...
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. It's like only certain things are covered.
It's wild. Like
out-of-pocket costs.
Don't come here. Don't live here.
Bottom line.
It's like... Yes, it's so difficult for at least my little Peabody brain to understand. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just a baby. I just want to be on my...
I could pay you in blocks.
I could pay you in marbles.
Just a baby. But, I mean, to not get into the detail and literally explaining, like, health insurance, because I don't fucking want to talk about it, because it's, like, the vein of my existence.
It's so depressing. Because, like, we have to pay for it. And,
right.
Like,
for something that we might not use.
Right. And, like, if your job doesn't give that to you, you have to buy it. And that's not cheap.
Pay it all yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much that goes into it. And that being said, actually, is why there are some people that don't even have insurance.
Yes.
So then it's the full cost of stuff comes out of people's pocket, which is what I am struggling with and I'm working on because even with like what we call marketplace insurance, it's very expensive, and it's not a cost. Even with insurance, it's a cost I would be struggling with right now. I have both sides of the coin. Like, I understand both sides of the coin, and I feel like I can speak to them now as an adult because I am such an advocate for therapy and all that stuff because I went to therapy as a kid. I had something that I struggled with really hard. My mom had me go to a therapist, and it helped so much.
And I
to
love
the point where yes, me too.
And it's
Thank
why
you, Mom.
you are the way you are. You're so like
it
is.
I believe
well,
so.
I feel
No,
like
believe
it.
Yeah, it's true. It formed a lot of who I am.
Well, and shout out to your mom
Yes.
for that too, because I fucking hate when people are like, oh, you're a child. Like, what could you possibly be going through? Shut up.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly hope it was even like, I don't know how like, I'm not a professional that knows how to deal with the feelings my kid is feeling, so I'm going to bring her to a professional.
I really like that. And I
don't know if that's what went through her head, but if it was, like, fucking props to you, Mom. No matter what it was. Like, thank you.
She put you in such a good spot. And that's, but like, I digress.
And that's because, I mean, to the point where I thought I was going to go be a therapist. Like, I thought that's what I was going to do for schooling. I fucking chose film. The fuck is wrong with me? Which is why I need to go back. But
it's neither here nor there.
But that was all set up for me by my mom. So I was very, very lucky and
she got to be on insurance then, too.
Right, yeah. So I was paying for it as a kid. And then when I realized as an adult, I really fucking need therapy. And even when I had insurance through work, I tried to start the process, and it is such a defeating process. And I remember saying to so many people, like, I understand now why so many of my friends pushed back so much on therapy, because it is such a defeating process, especially if they were trying to do it on their own and find it and figure it out, because it's so hard to find somebody who will take your insurance.
Yep. And
even though you call your insurance company and get a list, I called all those numbers and they were like, we don't take your insurance. I was like, but my insurance company said you do. And then once you find somebody that does, finding a time that works with your schedule and their schedule, like there's so much working against you.
Well, and there's so many people that seek out therapy now too, that a lot of therapists are like overworked as well.
Yeah.
So it can feel like you're not getting like a very personal experience or like a lackluster one. And therapy is pretty expensive, like even with insurance. Are you getting the hint? Don't come here.
It's rough out here.
It's hard. It can be really defeating if you go in after having done this research and like say X, Y, and Z doesn't line up, or like you can't afford them. Because like we're working with our budgets here too.
Yeah, which is why so many people are like, oh, it didn't work for me, because it just didn't work with the first person.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, and I'm so glad to hear you, Karma, say this as well, that you are already like in exactly the right mindset, that you recognize that it's kind of like dating, where you have to find the right match and you're willing to find that match. And that's the perfect like space to be in. I'm glad that you are thinking about it that way, which is also why I think maybe possibly, and you try it at your own risk and obviously protect yourself with, you know, your own mental health and how you think it's going and if you think it's a good match or not, and not being afraid to change things up or, you know, just stop the BetterHelp if that's what you need, because I've heard mixed reviews.
I was going to say, I have heard mixed reviews as well, and I personally haven't looked into it.
Same.
So I can't speak too much on it.
Right.
But I hear it promoted a lot, but I've also heard, because it's like promoted so much, that it's a lot of overworked people and a lot of like half-assed like interactions where it's like
overworked, or like they just hired them on because they needed the people, so it's like not the greatest professional.
But like obviously you'll know better when you're in that situation, but like definitely I would feel like don't go into it thinking that like it can't like not be a match because these people are certified or whatever. Like it can, I from what I've heard, it can be great, but I've also heard not so great things.
Yeah.
So just,
like it's kind of a 50-50
so just be aware of that. You know, I think with anything, like if it doesn't feel like they're listening, if it feels like they're just trying to like push like a pill on you or something, or they're just like journal about it, like, you know, pay attention to those like red flags and make sure that like, I feel like listen to yourself after the interaction. And it's like, do you feel good about what just happened? Do you want to like tell them more information that like obviously is below, like past the surface? And I think you'll be able to make an indication from there.
Yeah, which it sounds like you're already heading
you got
in that
this
direction,
you know what you're doing, girl.
Yeah, love to hear
you're
that.
You're just talking to us.
And hope that you do find a good match and that it is something that helps you, because it's also good to hear you say that you recognize some things that don't work for you, because like last episode I mentioned that for some people one-on-one therapy isn't the answer, and sometimes a group thing is better for them. So being open-minded to that and recognizing like what does work better for you. Don't blame yourself, you know, just don't fit yourself to the clothes, fit the clothes to you.
Okay, bitch.
So yeah, it sounds like you're already on the right track for that, which I love to hear. Which actually, what you also mentioned, it's so interesting to hear that the prejudice with British expats, because there's definitely prejudice in our healthcare as well.
Oh yeah.
Like in so many ways. Racially, unfortunately, absolutely is a huge thing. And also body shaming and things like that. I can't tell you how many people, actually even one of our writers wrote in about, you know, the way they were body shamed. It doesn't matter if it's plus size or not. People are going to find, if you don't fit like the general line of what's easy to go off of, there are unfortunately so many, not all, and I'm not saying that, but there's too many medical professionals that will just like, their solution is diet, or they're blaming weight, whether it's too much or too little. Like it's so fucking frustrating.
Yeah, it really is. That does happen here. And like their like socioeconomical status is like a factor too. Like your like location as well, and like what you can get in that area and like what's available to you. So that's certainly something that comes into play.
Yeah, and I know that you said there's pros and cons with yours too, but it's just such a like fairy tale to us that I'm like, what's universal healthcare like?
I want to know.
Tell me about it.
I like literally want to know.
Like laying on my stomach, chin on my hands.
Please tell me.
Feet kicking behind me. Like, please tell me about universal healthcare.
Because like this is how bullshit ours is. Like I accidentally threw out my medication and I was damn near like close to a refill, and they were like, tough shit, we won't refill it early for you. So I either had to be off of it or I had to go buy my own medication, like full price.
So stupid.
And it was like I was only days away too. So that's just it's really fun.
Yeah.
That was a really fun time for me. They were like, oh my God, you have anxiety? Here's some more.
Sounds tough.
Guess what I'm not going to give you? Your anxiety medication. Sleep tight.
But yeah, glad that you are working towards that, and hope that you're having a much easier time finding help for that.
And let us know how it goes too. Like
Yeah.
I'm really curious. Like we truly are pretty enthralled by what your life is like.
So curious.
I really do want to know.
I know. The fact that it's so genuinely exciting to be like, oh, what is that?
No,
like?
tell me more.
Please
Really,
tell
truly.
me.
Like, I'm very curious. And I'm curious, like, what BetterHelp means for you internationally as well.
Right. Maybe it's better over there. The professionals that like would be in the pool that you have to pull from. Maybe.
I have follow up with us, please.
Yeah. I don't know how that'll work. So that'll be fun conversation.
I'm pretty excited
Let's
about your
talk about
cat,
it.
too.
So excited. I was going to say, oh my God, I am so
Little fur
excited
baby.
for you. Yes. Clementine. That's
That's
so
a cute name. I love that.
Oh my God. The pictures are so cute. Her pointy little ears.
I love a black cat as well.
Oh.
So
She's so speckly. Oh, I love it.
And the fact that you rescued, I'm a huge advocate for rescuing animals. Like that's what my family has always done with all of our pets. Mm-hmm. We just rescue Rottweilers, and we rescue. They're just because like they're misunderstood. They're sweetie pies.
I love that it feels like people like it's like families will have like a breed that they are like drawn to.
Yeah.
You have Rottweilers. Our family, even though we did end up having 2 different dogs, but our family, my mom's side, is like black labs. We've had a lot of black labs. And my first dog was from the same litter of my cousin's first dog.
I love that.
So yeah, we were a black lab family, and you guys are a Rottweiler family, and I love that. And then it just makes me think of like Jenna Marbles and her greyhounds, her little Iggies, and now full greyhounds.
But I do love a black cat as well. I wouldn't say that I'm not a cat person. It's just that I realized after I moved out of my parents' house that I'm slightly allergic to cats. So it's like having to, because when I came back home, being around my cat Max before he passed was just like my eyes would water.
That's what happened with Kaylee and Maddie
and
too.
like my like throat would get itchy, and I was like, oh, I just probably had a tolerance. Like it's probably like a slight allergy, you know, but I had a tolerance built up from living with him and never being away. But then I left, I came back.
That's so crazy because like with Kaylee, when she was in Florida, she was allergic to Florida. I just remember her being so sick.
I think more people should be.
That home, I know. She was right for that.
No, she's correct.
And then when she came back.
That's the right feeling.
Yeah. And then when she came back, she was so allergic to Maddie. And yeah, it was crazy. And she's like, if she didn't take like whatever allergy stuff before she got to my parents, lights out. Like
Same.
She was just she was so itchy and her eyes were watering. It was crazy.
But I love your little cutie patootie.
I know.
I just want to give it a good head scratch under the chin, particularly.
The fact that you wrote a letter to the little elderly couple too, that is so sweet. I love this whole situation.
Yeah, you're kind of thriving, babe.
Yeah.
You're kind of living your best life, I'd say. Like things are going fabulous for you.
And we love that.
And we're so happy to hear it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Will you give us some of that, please? Like a little bit, maybe? I'm just kidding. Things aren't so bad over here either.
Thank you so much for sharing and for catching us up and for catching up on the episodes.
Yeah. Again, take notes, everybody.
Star Roomie.
We don't want to rank people, but Basically, if you're not making us into edits and if you're not catching us up with your life, what are you doing?
We want to hear from you.
We want the tea. We want to know it all. Literally everything.
Yeah, this absolutely made our week, like not even just our day. Thank you so much for this catch up. We absolutely love it. Thank you. We love hearing from you. And we want to hear from you guys too. Literally anything, good, bad. We love hearing from you. And you can do that by emailing us at rentfreeroommates@gmail.com.
And if you're not going to talk to us, the only way I'll forgive you is by you following us on everything. Literally everything.
Or sharing. It's so easy. We love it. We appreciate it when you guys do that. It really helps us out.
Every little thing helps us, and every little thing gets us closer to quitting our 9 to 5. So
that's the real dream.
Please, I don't want to work anymore.
But also, on top of that, let us know any of your scary stories. We want we're just going to badger you guys for scary stories until forever, really.
Until we become your scary story. So.
Any time of year.
We're fucking crazy. I told you that once.
Thank you so much to both of our writers. Love hearing from you guys. Appreciate you both so much. And can't wait to hear from you guys too. But until then, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.